Welcome, all you amazing people, to our Aries full moon reading. The Aries full moon is going to be reaching its fullest on October 20th, around 8:56 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So wherever you're at in the world, you can adjust for that, because that's going to be at the very climax of all the energies. This is an Aries full moon, so you got all that fiery energy of Aries being a fire sign, and then multiply that times the regular, just huge energy of a full moon, and you've got Shazam! You got all this energy coming in, a lot of energy. Of course, with a full moon and with all this amplification, emotions are also going to be amplified in a huge way. So just know whatever emotion that you're focusing on, and whatever emotion you choose during that time, you're going to feel it in a big way. But it's wonderful. I mean, you can feel the energy up to a week before the full moon, up to a week or so after the full moon. The more closer we get to the full moon, the more intense it is, the more dreams you're going to have, so you're going to feel all that. So if you feel out of sorts, just look up at the sky and go, the full moon. That is why my emotions are feeling very, expanded. What's great too is we had 2 full moons in a row in Aquarius in July and August, and then we just had a full moon in Pisces last month. So that had us all on this track of dreamy times, and then we followed that up with the energy of the Pisces full moon, which was about putting some practical plans to those dreams. So putting some plans around the steps towards that dream. And now we have all this blast of energy that we can use and focus it onto those steps. However, there's always a however, right? Also keep in mind that moving from Pisces to Aries, we're ending the cycle of the zodiac signs. We reached the end of Pisces and we're moving in to the beginning again with Aries. And so this might bring some new awareness, and it might cause you to desire to make revisions to the dream, make revisions to the plan. So you might alter your path a little bit, and that's totally okay. So if you feel that energy of wanting to switch things up, don't resist that, because it is part of this beautiful energy that will help you with all of that. Now, the last new moon we had in Aries was back on April 11th of this year, and that was a time of taking action on things. So when you look back around April 11th and see what was going on around that time, what kind of actions you did initiate, because now is also the time to reevaluate. You plant seeds and everything with a new moon. It grows into the harvest of the full moon. And then as you wane away from that to head back towards a new moon again, in that whole cycle of Aries new moon to Aries full moon, back to Aries new moon, it's like 6 months between a new moon and a full moon in the sign, and then back again. So, this moving away from the full moon will be a time where you're also going to be looking at what you're ready to let go of. So, there's all of this reevaluation type of energy coming with this full moon, because of the ending of that big cycle of Aries to Pisces and going back into Aries again, as well as the full moon. You're reaching the climax of the full moon and headed backward. So what we're going to do, and I'm going to do a reading for each sign, and the question we're kind of going to look at is, what can you reevaluate? But really, I really feel like with all this energy, it's where can you direct this lightning bolt of energy that's coming? What advice does Spirit and the Creator have for us on where we can direct it for the most beneficial experience and most in alignment of who we want to be and where we want to go? So we're going to go ahead and jump right into your reading right now. All right, my Leos, this is your reading for the full moon in Aries. And we are going to start off by pulling a card here from the Spirit of the Animal Oracle. And this is just going to be what overall the Creator wants you to know about 3 weeks around the full moon in Aries. And then also, like I said, we're going to be looking into what the creator just advice on where you can direct this lightning bolt of amazing Aries energy around this full moon. All right, there we go. All right. So for our Leo's creator, what would you like them to know just overall about this time frame here? Okay. This is the one for you. And you've got the bee. So you have community. And it says you are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receive sweetness. You are the queen of abundance, whether you're male or female or however you identify. You get to be a queen. Queen bee, get to be at the center. But I love this. So definitely this energy focuses in on your creativity and actually putting all that energy into creating things. It's not dismantling things, but it's like a beehive. You're building and you're building and you're building. And of course, then you get that sweet nectar of honey, which is the results of it. And so this abundance is generated from it as well. And I love that. And let's see what else, what other energy comes with the bee. If my fingers will cooperate. Oh, there we go. So the energy, like it mentions, it's about community, cooperation, hardworking, diligent, royal, which Leo, you understand that feeling, kingdom, family, order, love charm, success, sexual, and stinger. Says bees are honored as a good omen for success and a powerful symbol for royal families throughout the world. Life in the hive represents the harmonious kingdom. Bees characterize meaningful communal activity, hard work, and diligence. The bee can be a great friend, but misfortune will come to those who harm the hive, right? Their stingers are always ready to protect. All bees are pollinators, and they are considered to be the most useful insect in nature. They are productive, focused, and do not get sidetracked from their goals. B reminds us that joy, purpose, and the sweetness in life can be found in cooperative work for bettering the world. Because of bees' many industrious traits they represent good fortune in business matters. So adopt bee as your personal symbol for a never-ending creation of abundance. If bee is your totem, you're on a beeline to success. Like the mysterious bee in flight, you will accomplish what others cannot. Your busy as a bee nature brings unfailing energy, robust health, and longevity. Embrace the bee's life secret. Be productive while the sun shines. Become fully engaged in your creative endeavors and enjoy the flowers. Do these and all good things will be yours. Beautiful. And then there are like 4 questions or 4 statements to consider. If any of these resonate with you, you can contemplate them during this 3-week period. And then the 3-week period, which we'll talk about in a sec, is the week before the full moon and the 2 weeks after the full moon. The first item is a question, and it says, do you need to focus your efforts to create more success? The second question is, do you have a bee in your bonnet and need fresh air for your mind? Number 3 is more of a suggestion. It says, beware of those bear people who would try and steal your sweetness, like Winnie the Pooh. And number 4, be more industrious. So you have all of this beautiful Aries energy that you can definitely focus in, and it just reminds me of the Sun card in the Major Arcana. It's about success. It's about in the physical middle world that we live in. Just it's the sunflower. It's success, brilliance, shining light upon things. And it's kind of returning to this childlike joy where you're just in that joy and wonder for life. And so it's just like you're excited and you have all this energy to do these things. And like I said, we're going to pull some additional cards. So we're going to start off from the Naked Heart Tarot here. And we're going to pull a card for each of those weeks that I mentioned and see what more clarification, validation, or new information that the Creator has for this full moon period. Okay, so the week before the Aries full moon, what do you want our Leos to know, please? Okay. What about the week after the full moon? Okay. Looks like it's that one. And then 2 weeks after the full moon. Whoa, okay. There we go. Yeah, I think that's the one. And then we're also going to pull from the Wild Unknown Tarot. And we're also going to pull cards for each of those weeks as well. All right, so the week before. Okay. And the week after. Okay, and then 2 weeks after. Okay. Wow, it's funny that this last weekend they went flying. All right, so the week before the full moon, you've got the actual Naked Heart itself. And this is beautiful. This is a unique card for this deck. And so I'm going to, it's card 22. And I actually want to read it from this book because it is so unique and beautiful whenever it pops up. So this is about connection, about purpose, and about your higher, your higher self. And the message that comes from this Naked Heart is, I radiate at a pure vibrational level, calling in all that I need at this time to stay in alignment with my path. The universe is highlighting my gifts and asking me to trust myself and my intuition. As I listen to what my heart needs, my natural essence comes forth to be nurtured, and I innately connect with my calling and my purpose. Comparing myself to others does not serve me, and it will only knock me out of my flow. I was given the exact proportion of amazing, otherwise I would not exist. My path may not always feel easy, but it will feel right. And when I shine bright like the sun, right, I am the spark to someone else's light, and I inspire others. And there's a Luna moth in here. And so that Luna moth is like the familiar, and it whispers to you, you are brave and beautiful. Fly out of the darkness and into the light. That is beautiful. So very much a sun reference in here too, and flying like a bee, fly out of the darkness into the light. And so really the week before the full moon, you're feeling this amazing, brilliant energy. And Aries is fire element, and fire for me represents spirit. And so your spiritual side is just blossoming and booming. And that's, you reach your higher self through your heart, because that unconditional love that your higher self and the whole other side have for you, that's, when you bring that down in your heart, you glow, and then that is what fills you up and pours out to the world, and that is the light that they see, right? Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, we got Temperance. And Temperance is about balancing both the fire and the water. So it is definitely this balance between your human side, this character you play on the planet, and your higher self that flies above, and bringing that spirit. So this beautiful joining together. It's not like this battle of your spirit trying to destroy your ego. You really, with this Temperance comes in, it's this beautiful balance, understanding that what your shadow wants is to be loved. And it came down here for this journey to feel like what it might feel like to look for conditional love in the external world, and to feel the disappointment of all that love that's temporary and unstable. And then here you come as your higher self, and at the appointed time you begin to wake up to, like, there's more than just one of you that's living your life. There's a much bigger you, that powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love that comes down and gives you the love you've been looking for. And for the first time, you just can, sit with your higher self and feel safe and feel loved and whole. And then you start to walk this path together, which is a whole new life experience. And so I love this connection to your higher self, being ignited by this beautiful Aries full moon energy as it starts to rise for you. And of course, you are also a fire sign, being Leo. And so this is your home. You understand this fire energy. You don't freak out when it starts to zap, and you just feel it growing within you. It is a little different because it's Aries, but it's still, out of all the other elements, fire signs, you will relate and be able to absorb and really be able to focus this energy very well. And then after the full moon, the week after the full moon, you have the star. And the star is about like the upper world, where the sun is kind of like the middle world. The star is the upper world. So this is connecting to your higher self, realizing that this is who you are, this bright, shining light, this being of unconditional love and light. You are embracing that self-love, realizing what's important rather than what's urgent, because even in the darkness, that's when you see the star shine the most. And so this is also kind of like this talked about coming out of the darkness into the light. This is the light shining so bright in the darkness. This is like it's a it's normally a 7-point star. This one shows it as an 8-point star, but it usually is like a 7-point star in it, and it represents the star of Venus. And so it is about this love that's coming in, and it also represents the Aquarian sign. And you can see that it does show the little water symbols up here, if you can see that. But it does represent the Aquarian energy, which is about being a water bearer, bringing to the world the living waters. And in that, there's also this message: the light shines bright, and it shows you what you're truly thirsty for and what you're really wanting, which is that unconditional love. And then it also shows you what has not been quenching your thirst, which is all those unstable things from the outside, all that validation we seek from the outside, right? And so it's really this connection to this higher realm. And this community, I really feel, is not so much the physical world community, but it's this new spiritual connection, this higher connection that you have, with the Creator, with Spirit, but especially with this, large group of individuals on the other side that are always with you, always supporting you, which are like your guardian angels and your angels, your spirit guides, loved ones who have lived in this lifetime and passed away and gone to the other side. Or ancestors, unicorns, fairies, whatever you believe and resonate with these beings of unconditional love and light. You have this huge community, all these other stars in the sky, these higher beings that are with you and supporting you on your path as well. So I love that this energy is doing that. Yeah. Then you have the 8 of Wands, and here's that lightning bolt I was talking about. It's coming in here. 8 of Wands, wands again, or not again, but wands are also fire. So this is what we're talking about, this Aries energy, lightning bolt of beautiful energy coming in. The 8 of Wands will mean like messages, and quick action, things coming in. And for me, with wands meaning like spirit, this is like you're getting messages from spirit, and they're coming quickly during this week because of this connection. And it just totally coincides with this, with you wanting that connection. When you move into that frequency, instead of being in fear and those any of the emotions at that lower love vibration, when you raise your love vibration up to unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, that's where that's the frequency that spirit talks on. So all those beings in the upper heavens, that's where they're at. They always hear you, but to hear them, you're raising your vibration up. And I really feel like this 2 weeks period here, the week before and week after the full moon, you're just feeling this ignitement of that energy, and you're feeling this invitation to come talk with them. And so if you take that invitation, that's up to you, but the energy level is so perfect in supporting that for that. And then you got the second week after the full moon, and you've got movement of pentacles. Pentacles is about your outside world, and about things, like your abundance and your finances and jobs and just activities outside of it. And it's the only movement of pentacles is usually the knight in the regular tarot. And there's 4 knights, and the Knight of Pentacles is the slower one out of them all, because they're really connected to the seasons. They're really connected to the process of growth. They understand that, you plant a seed in spring and it starts to grow. The summer comes and it grows even more because it's getting, all the sunshine and warmth. And then fall comes and the fruit bears itself, and you harvest it, and leaves start to fall. And winter, the snow comes and covers all the leaves and all the foliage that did its purpose. All the fruit that was not taken becomes, broken down, and it moistens the soil and puts all those nutrients into the soil to then come to spring again, which is this ripe, beautiful soil that's ready for new seeds to be planted. And so there's this process, and it doesn't all happen in a day, right? Each season is usually 3 months, and so it's slower movement than the other nights are all about boom, 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 because they're, the Knight of Wands is about spirituality, which can move very fast, and the Knight of Swords is all about your mind and thoughts, so that moves quickly. The Knight of Cups is all about your emotions. Your emotions can switch in the drop of a hat. But the outside world moves in a system on purpose and for a purpose, and it's very cyclical. So understanding that, it's like, okay, I know all of this happens, all this communication, all this effort does take time. But with everything it was talking about here, about your with that sun reference, about the sun meaning success and joy, really this feels like this is really the autumn for you, which you have moved into at the end of September. So you're in this harvest period where you're feeling the benefits. And so this beautiful energy coming in from this Aries full moon is just bringing in that abundance. And it's kind of like just announcing that it's time, right? And then and there you go, the sun. So everything I was just talking about, the sun, the bright lights, the star, and it definitely has this culmination of this joy. If you representing the Aries energy with this full moon exploding, this is pretty much, it, besides this giant, lightning bolt. But it's definitely this beautiful energy coming in. And so you're realizing in the second week after the full moon, just this joy and this abundance, and whether it is finances coming in, but it can be in any area of your life, whether it was, like I talked about, you're feeling emotionally abundant, you're feeling mentally abundant, you're feeling spiritually abundant, or like I said, the outside world, feeling that beautiful external abundance on whatever it may be. Be, right? Be you. Be you. But I'm loving this for you. So again, you are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving the sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. And so definitely the Queen of Pentacles is very much about Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So there's also this message of, celebrate, get out, and to get away from it all too. It doesn't have to be all work and all play. It's one of the wonderful things I learned about bees is that when they're out and about working, in the heat of the day, they'll kind of just nestle in a flower and take a nap. So it's like, yes, it's not all about busy bee all the time. You get to enjoy the sweet nectar as well. So, getting away from it all, getting to nature, I really feel with that Queen of Abundance is this message of the Queen of Pentacles. And she also has a beautiful message because she's at the end of the Pentacles. The king is the only one that's further along in the Pentacle journey. And she has learned, like the Empress, that you find your abundance within yourself. This is what makes you whole and complete. So, she's very much the divine feminine. And so she also brings a lot of emotion into it, understanding that your emotional abundance means so much more than physical outward abundance, because there's billionaires that have committed suicide because they were not feeling emotionally fulfilled and whole, and they just couldn't take it anymore. So emotional wholeness is so important, and getting out into nature really helps you, feel that beautiful love that you can from the Mother and Father of all things. And as you are going throughout this 3-week period, just know that every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things and this massive community on the other side. And I, of course, love you too. So I have nothing else to add there. I'm going to leave it there and just have an amazing full moon in Aries experience. And I'm sure I'll be talking to you soon. You take care.